Namaste and welcome back to Waking Up with Mindful Serenity. And we're going to continue with our answering of questions from the jar. So I'm going to reach in and pull out a question. I'm going to do my best to answer it within a 10-minute time frame. It will probably take me 10 minutes to get my clock going here, but here we go. Okay. And we're just going to do our best to answer it, and will not be perfect. So, of course, I'm going to encourage you to look for the answer within yourself, not just take what I have to say and go with it. I'm far from an expert in anything. And also, I'm going to apologize for my throat. I have had the flu. I'm coming around, and I'm doing much, much better, but the throat still seems to be a little dry. Okay. I digress. The question I pulled out was, what does vanity of vanities, all is vanity, mean? What does vanity of vanity, vanity of vanities, all of vanities mean? And that comes from Ecclesiastes. And it basically is someone asking the question, why is it all so pointless? And vanity, according to the Hebrew word, means, I think, without meaning is what the word means if you translate it directly. So it means, what is this pointlessness? What is this pointlessness of pointlessness? It is all just pointless. And they're looking at life and exploring the fact that things they thought had meaning and realizing that they no longer seem to have meaning. They're at a crossroads between what they thought they knew and what they are about to discover. So this to me is a representation of the dark night of the soul, that period of time where we start to put away our conditioning and our programming and start to explore a deeper level of understanding of what life is and our part in it and who we are. It is a deeper question, right? But it begins with this period of confusion, this period of seeing things not having the meaning we thought they did. This is interesting because the beginning of A Course in Miracles, especially the lessons, it's all about making us question what we're seeing, making us see that what we thought had meaning doesn't have meaning. So there's all these series of little exercises to break down that preconditioned dogma that has become our mental schemata and the way we view and see the world. We go beyond that to questioning what is true and what is real, not just what I need to be real so I feel comfortable inside, but what is actually real. What seemed to be real, like in this world, if this, of course, Ecclesiastes is the Old Testament, so we're dating way, way back. I think it's the Old Testament. Oh my goodness. Yeah, hopefully it is. Maybe not. My biblical reference is failing. I used to be a good Catholic student, not so much anymore. Understanding the Bible. But regardless, what we're saying is, if we were to take that into this world and into, say, I'm going to use my personal experience, know that my personal experience is just one little personal experience out of 8.5 billion possible other experiences. So I'm just using it as a frame of reference because it's where this human I call me comes from. So I am experiencing as a human the dark night of the soul, and I have been for many years. I have been putting away my dogma, just like I can't remember if that part of the Bible is in the New or Old Testament. I've been putting away my conditioning. I am questioning what I've been taught and what I have been believed to be real since the time I was born. And I recognize the programming within myself. What Bruce Lipton would say occurs before the age of 7, that when we're in theta waves, we absorb everything so that we can become the human that's going to survive in this particular social group, doing what is expected of us. So we pick up that programming and it becomes a part of who we are at one level, the personality level, the psyche level, so that we can survive. We start building these protective personalities and start becoming what we think other people need us to be so that we can fit in and belong, and that we won't be expelled from the group, so that we survive. And so we begin to believe what we're being told as the truth without questioning. We don't develop our critical thinking questioning, until much later in life. We're very concrete thinkers up to the age of 7, but beyond that we may. But if our programming is so strong and intense in us, we may be told that thinking, using that critical thinking component of the human mind, is sinful, or it's something you're not supposed to do. You're never supposed to question your elders. You're never supposed to question the church or the wisdom of the church or the Bible or any of those things. Take it for what it is and go with it. And without that critical thinking, we tend to own what we think is reality without questioning this reality. Is this real? Is this what it's all about? Is this who I am? Am I just this role I play as daughter and wife or mother or sister or friend or coworker? Or am I more than that, right? So we stick with the social roles that we've come to identify as being us, this protected personalities we wear as being us. Whatever role we're playing professionally, whatever role we're playing personality-wise, am I nice, am I kind, am I whatever? And we become to think that is who we are. And we don't question it. And then when we get to the point of the dark night of the soul where we begin to question, we realize that is not who I am. And all this stuff I'm doing out here to grab from the external world so that I feel good inside and to push away from the external world so it doesn't trigger anything I have inside is not helping me. It's not bringing me to where I thought it would be, and then you start digging away at those personalities and those false layers, and you come to see who you truly are with these core beliefs of being not good enough or not worthy or having to be nice or having to perform in order to be accepted and to work hard in order to get there, and this is God is this person with the beard, and he's wrathful, so be good and do this and that so you don't need his wrath, and there's a heaven afterwards, and if you're not good enough you're going to go to hell, you won't get to heaven. All this stuff that we've been taught, and you begin to question it all. And because that gave your life meaning, because you needed it to give your life meaning, because you were so confused and missing something very, very big internally, it starts to fall away. Then your life starts to lose that meaning that you attributed to these things. And it's a floundering period of confusion and overwhelm and darkness. And St. James of the Cross, of course, wrote a beautiful poem about that. And I encourage you to look it up, but he wrote it in Spanish, but even in the English translations, you see the beautiful faith that he was seeking, that came from, his connection seeking his connection with God, with the Almighty, rather than with these false notions, these vanities. We tend to think of vanity as being, egotistical and being concerned about how we appear to others, our appearances. But again, the word vanity from that text is probably more related to this sense of being pointless. But even the vanity that we have now is pointless. Our looks are never going to last, They're going to be gone tomorrow, if we have any. And they're not worthy of anything. They're pointless. They're vanity of vanities. All is vanity. It means nothing. What we own material-wise means nothing. What roles we play mean nothing. No matter how much effort we put into things, means nothing. The goal is to simply relax and release and allow reality to be reality and let it be. And then find the meaning that comes with being someone who observes and witnesses this experience of life. So the vanity will turn to meaning and purpose. And it doesn't come with effort. It doesn't come with a collection of things. It doesn't come with our social relationships. It doesn't come with the roles we play. It doesn't come with how many years of education or how much we're making. It comes with who we are and this understanding of who we are. Acceptance of reality for what it is. And allowing ourselves just to simply explore it and allow it all in, the good, the bad, the ugly, and just be a part of this amazing experience. Then that pointlessness goes away and becomes something very, very valuable, much, much deeper. So to get beyond the vanity, which is on the superficial layer, we need to go deeper into that which has true meaning. And in the process of going from the superficial layer and digging down to the deeper layer, we may meet up with this dark night of the soul, this period of confusion, this period of darkness, this period of heaviness, because everything that's underneath is coming up and we're experiencing it. We're experiencing all the things we ran away from. We are coming to terms with reality that we have, tried to avoid most of our lives. And it can be a bit overwhelming and confusing, but it is something that will take us to where we really want to be. And we will experience who we truly are at the deepest level. Well, that's all I have to say about that. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.